can't.
All right. Well, so anyways, this amazing podcast that we started listening to help put us to sleep. The conceit of the podcast is a sincere attempt to put you to sleep. It's for insomniacs. It claims on the surface, but it's endlessly entertaining as well. There's no wrong way to use it. He goes into all that stuff. It's very, very smart, amazing guy. Please listen to his podcast, Sleep With Me, if you haven't already after this. But let's get to know our new friend, Drew Ackerman. Oh, well, that's nice.
Thank you.
All right.
Good move.
Hello, Drew. Drew, meet Joey.
Hi. Hey, what's up? Do you have any past life info on me? I don't. Do I want to know?
Tarot cards. I'll work on that.
Okay, great.
Shit. Wait, I said you have shamanic shit. You're hiding tarot cards in your satchel? Are you going to do a reading right now?
Well, no. I'll just be doing. Okay.
Yeah, do a little background tarot on us, and whenever you feel like something significant pops up.
See ahead of that.
That's right.
Okay, all right, right there on the floor.
Okay,
all right,
yeah.
fine. And in the book, will you let me know when you know? You already did let me know. Does that mean she's here?
Yeah.
She's here. Okay, well, she's on the schedule too.
Let's hear it for Drew. Thanks for coming, Drew.
Thank you.
Would you mind terribly?
Let's do this Halloween intervention right now.
Doing the because she I begged her to come down, and she had food simmering on the stove. I just want to bring her out to go over a little kerfuffle we had in text. You remember our friend, my neighbor Beth Bootzen.
Bootzen. Boots and pants and 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 boots and pants.
All right, this show is a
a cavalcade of stars.
Yeah. Lay that staff across there. All right, Beth, thank you so much for coming down. I know it was like I you sped out of your house. I invited you last minute because I thought, well, geez, we had this thing. It was a flare-up. It was a neighborly flare-up.
We had an argument.
All right, and so I'm scrolling back in our conversation. Okay, and it's easy because you marked it with that photo. All right, so Beth, as you know, she came on the show with her son Timmer. Who was doing the haunted house, and then Timmer, the son, came on again last week
with spooky One Direction.
Yes, he came with his friends. Yes.
So the following day, Monday, 10:11 a.m. I get. So what do we want to do? Do we want to? Do it. Last time I read your parts and you read my parts, but maybe why don't we just?
You know what? I think it's actually. Based on all your language, maybe it's better if you just read your own.
I'll read my own.
Beth, I can't see. Are you in a mic? You have a microphone?
Here, I'll do it right
now.
Right.
Eat that mic.
Okay, so I'm in there at Monday. So then this happened, and I'm just I don't want to take up too much of Beth's time, but I also didn't want to. I don't want to talk about this and I don't even know what happened.
Well,
it's like so. I guess we just start.
Yes,
we can just start.
The last Sunday, my son and his friends came on, and his friends were wearing gas masks, and he came on to tell you about his haunted maze. So the next morning, I text Dan, and I said, "Hi, Dan. Last night we got a visit. We believe it was from one of your diehard fans. Whoever it was stole Timur's apocalyptic wasteland banner off of our garage door."
And then she sends a picture of the banner.
Yeah, let me see if I can show.
Oh.
Now, what evidence did you have, Beth, at this point?
Yeah. So
I'll handle this for a 45-minute fucking fight.
yes.
Because I have minor justice issues. Dan has huge justice issues. So let's see what goes down there.
I have medium justice issues. Or like the Bears.
Yes.
And so I wrote.
Spencer, your justice issues are just right.
Right, yeah.
All right.
So I wrote. I sent this to Dan, and then I said, "The price of knowing Dan Harmon." And I put a very surprised look of those little, what do you call them? Mochis.
A sticker.
And then I wrote it again by accident, and I said, "Oops."
Okay, so.
And then I put grrr.
You say, this sounds like you had a little wine.
With an angry face, yeah. Okay,
These are wine texts.
All right. So then I said, why on earth would you assume an adult podcast listener would do something like that instead of a high school student?
And then I wrote back, I said, "Why would a high school student even want it so bad that they would steal it? It has more value to the person who has something that's connected to you, a little piece of Dan Harmon."
That's a stretch.
Jesus.
They know my house is next door. If they wanted a piece of me, they could take something from me. My audience is nice people.
Said, "It makes for a great story. We will put everything away in our garage now."
They wouldn't be going to your haunted house to do anything but support you.
"Some of your fans are nice, normal people. Some of them are obsessed with Dan Harmon people.
That's true.
Your fans are fascinated that we live next door to you. It's okay, I'm not mad at you. We'll just make a new one. How could we possibly know if it is a Dan Harmon fan? We just had a suspicion. The boys are already excited to make a new one, and they've got a great story."
You may not be mad at me, but I can't think of a reason to share that suspicion with me other than to solicit feelings of guilt.
Not to make you feel guilty. It's not your fault. It's more a story of interest. Don't you find it interesting?
Like, would you want me to express shame or remorse about this thing just because you have a weird theory connecting it to me? What if my dog got poisoned and I texted you saying I knew your friends did it? That would be really thoughtless of me, because if I respected you as a human being, I'd have to know laying something like that near you would cause you anxiety.
It's funny. We're rather humored about it, flattered in a way.
Saying you're humored and flattered that one of my fans stole your stuff is still saying one of my fans stole your stuff. It's weird to say that.
We don't know if it was one of your fans. You don't know either.
So drunk. Like you could smell the Chardonnay on these texts.
This is 10 a.m. though. I mean, no judgment.
Notwithstanding.
We'll never really know. It's just a suspicion. We're not blaming you. It's just a possibility. We still love you, no matter what. Think how cool it would be to have the banner on one's wall and be able to say that it came from one of Dan Harmon's episodes. Maybe it was a prankster. Just was a coincidence. You don't have fans that are a little out there?
Well, I do have a crazy neighbor that accuses strangers of stealing shit, but I don't know if she's a fan or not.
I didn't accuse you.
I said strangers.
I didn't accuse a stranger. I suspected. Don't really know. Thought it was a possibility. Thought it was a coincidence. Thought it was interesting.
It's a possibility that ISIS took it. You didn't text the president. And it wouldn't be coincidence if a random, unknown, unrelated person took something from a haunted house that was open to the public. It would be incidents. If I thought that someone would do that to you guys that respected my show, I'd be livid and embarrassed.
I have a neighbor sharing information with a neighbor who just happened to have an episode on his podcast relating to a neighbor's haunted maze. The very same night the banner goes missing. It's just a coincidence?
There's a cardboard sign on the street corner that says haunted house. Has nobody been coming other than podcast people? Do they have podcast logos on their foreheads? Is there a sign-in sheet and all the people that came wrote Harmontown in the Who Sent You column?
You are livid. You take responsibility for all your fans? You know that none of them would ever do that? You know that none of them would even consider that? Do you consider them your children? Have I offended you because I said that it is a possibility that one of your fans may have taken it?
Yes! You have. It's an offensive thing to do. Look up the word offense.
I did not accuse you. This is not about you. Why are you taking this so personally? This has nothing to do with you. I'm not blaming you.
Then why did you text me about it?
Because I had suspicions that it could possibly be one of your fans.
So it has something to do with me.
No, it doesn't.
So you expected me to laugh and say, ha ha, that's funny that someone in my podcast audience stole your property.
You joked about 2 episodes ago that you were afraid that if you gave our address away, that everyone would know whereabouts you live and that you would come home to find a stranger in your kitchen.
I would be upset for you if that happened. I wouldn't consider it a normal human response to be amused by Timmer's property being stolen, even if it was by a complete random person. I would just say, oh, that's too bad. I wouldn't say, ha ha, that's funny. So imagine how much weirder it would be to say ha ha to someone stealing Timmer's stuff if it wasn't a complete random person, but was someone somehow doing it because of my show. The normal human response to the idea of that would be for me to say, oh God, that's fucking awful. I can't believe someone did that. I'm so sorry.
I didn't expect you to laugh. I didn't expect you to get mad, though. I was making a joke. You didn't find it funny? But it really was an attempt of light humor that was taken very seriously. Sorry. Thank you for being such a cool neighbor.
You take the high road and I'll take the low road and I'll be in Scotland before you.
People always want to hear about what it's like to live next to Dan Harmon. A peek into him.
Well, your joke was that your son had to pay a price for living next door to me. And that would be something that I would feel terrible about. And you kind of committed to the joke to the point of arguing for a really long time that we should definitely assume someone that listens to the show did it. It wasn't very clear, and still isn't, which part is the joke. Do you still honestly believe it's more likely that someone from my audience did it and the joke was that it mattered at all? Or was the joke that you suspected it was someone from the audience and you just have a very strong commitment to humor?
Dan, can we take that one again, but faster this time?
Oh, Dan, it was a stupid joke.
I'm not that mad.
Sent with balloons.
But I have to fixate on my writing now. I'm way past a morning deadline and getting yelled at.
Please forgive me.
I forgive you, nutty pants.
No harm intended.
Hashtag neighbors for life.
That's a good ending. Yeah.
I like the new hashtag harm intended.
And then I sent him an emoji that is the emoji where the guy's eyes are googling like this, and there's the crazy guy. I said, no, I'm not saying that. You're nuts. I said, well, maybe just a little.
All right. Well, I guess it's all right. So, is there? You have the pulpit. Do you still think that one of my
that we can still be friends?
Well, do you still think one of my fans took your tarp?
I took the fucking tarp. It's in my car.
I knew it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm afraid to say, Dan.
I used to steal anything that wasn't nailed down. But
well,
it's got to be a teenager unrelated to the show.
This had black Gorilla tape that it was taped all to the garage,
right. And
it was very, very. It looked like a little kid that had taped it to the garage, and it was big and. I just think it's kind of a really, really weird coincidence that, that the night that, don't get mad all over again.
I'm mad!
Let me ask you guys, because you're his fans, is it a strong coincidence that it could be? I'm not saying it's you. I'm not saying it's you. I'm sure most of you are very normal, nice people.
I'm sure some of you are nice people, but a lot of you are bringing crime.
Yes.
A lot of you are rapists.
A possibility.
I'm sure some of you are nice. Some of you are stealing signs.
Is it a possibility that one of you could have driven to our house because we live next door to Dan Harmon?
I think it's as likely that you stole this sign yourself so you could get back on the show.
a world where
Jerry.
anything's possible, there's no need to focus in on the possibility.
I just think it's very, very coincidental that the next morning that, we had that episode the night before, but nobody
So
would
was
have
this
stolen.
Monday night that this happened? It happened
It was
Monday
Monday
morning?
when we went outside Monday morning.
Okay.
Monday morning.
So it would have to be.
So they
somebody
would have
that
had
was
to be here in the
live
room.
streaming person that
was nearby.
That somebody, whatever it was, somebody, somebody, one of you.
Yeah.
Sure. God.
Just so
All
we're
right.
clear.
Well, we'll continue to. I mean,
Come forward now.
We'll lower the lights and turn our backs, and if you took the apocalypse sign, put it down.
You give them a chance to turn themselves in. within
Yeah.
a second.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Well-
if someone return, you can
Just bring it to Nerd Mount.
right. Yeah, bring it here and drop it off.
Here's the way to do it. If you return the sign and you were a Harmontown fan, meaning you're listening to this right now, and you did take it,
Which
return
is
it.
really cool if you did.
Yeah.
That's like really
It's
awesome.
a very, very cool banner to hang on a
Then
wall.
Beth Bootzen.
That somebody could
Beth,
say.
Beth, would you put $100 bounty on that if someone could prove that they were a Harmontown fan? Would you pay $100 to get that sign back?
Would I pay
Yes.
$100?
Yes, to prove yourself right.
You know what? I think Dan Harmon
Whoa!
Oh.
would pay $100.
But then if you took it, you can just make $100.
No, I would not. I didn't take it.
Well, I didn't take it either.
But Dan Harmon, I
Okay,
think.
you both have to. You have to match Dan's 100. You both have to put $100. 200 clams if you're a Armenian that stole that sign.
Wait.
You, Beth, are.
Wait.
You're
no,
putting
no,
up $100
but
bucks.
I would be right. So,
Right, you'd be right.
I would be right.
But it would cost you 100 simoleons.
no, you would be wrong.
Right, I'd be wrong.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the penalty for being wrong is that you have to pay $100.
Right. What we're saying is,
Would we
Well,
pay
let me
it to the
wait. Let
person?
me up the ante.
Okay.
Let me
Oh,
up the
shit.
ante.
Physical challenge.
If we were to get that
It's gonna get
the
slow.
banner back, you have to pay the $100 and then autograph it for the person, and then it would be worth even more.
She
When they
stole.
hang it on their
Beth,
wall.
Beth, you stole the banner. You just won. This is the fucking longest con I've ever
Are you
seen.
sick of the haunted house?
This is like the Sting.
Are you acting out against the haunted house?
No,
Robert Redford's about to come
No,
out.
I think this is a funny story, and wouldn't it be interesting to find out who's right?
right, but we won't be able to. Only thing we really can do is say, if somebody gives it back anonymously, we'll still won't be able to reach the conclusion, automatically that a Harmontown fan took it. However, that person whoever took it has the power to make it look that way, and we're opening ourselves up and saying, even like, fine, if that person does that, would you be willing to pay any money for that?
Well, no. Let's look at. If it gets returned, I think Dan Harmon should autograph it, and we can hang it here on the wall. And
Can I make a
don't know
pitch?
if we
no,
can-
it's
May I make a pitch? I think anyone listening to this right now should go to that haunted maze, steal anything you want. Dan Harmon will autograph it for you.
Well, I'll make you this deal now.
Let's just go rob this fucking place.
Starting with
Free
the
Harmon
airing of
autograph.
this show, anything that gets stolen is kind of this podcast's fault. like because
I'm saying Armenians
because now
listening
it
don't
is
have
funny.
the guts to go steal shit from the Bootzen family.
we're putting
for too
everything in
long.
our garage now.
But well, okay. But anyways, all right. Well, so like you
Just wait. Is it possible if you think of a scenario in which there's someone who is so driven by his obsession with Dan that he wants to steal,
Or she.
Why do you think that person would go to you and not go to Dan's house and steal for something from Dan's house?
Because it was the night of our episode.
But that's backwards.
And the way
like,
they
that's
look
thinking
at it, it's a
backwards.
really, really cool banner. They could hang it on their wall.
That's like that applies to anybody.
No, it applies to only Dan Harmon fans. One of them, who would be cool to wouldn't this be cool because I took it and it was related to Dan Harmon because it was about the episode about haunted
right.
mazes.
Well, I feel like in this Gamera versus Mothra conflict that we have, like you with the eucalyptus tree thing, it was like, okay, I'm the bad person. I feel
Your
I'm
tree's
confident
fine, by the way.
You're the bad person in this case.
It survived those winds.
Oh yeah, but you don't know. You could be a diseased eucalyptus tree and survive a million winds.
Nah, that thing's
Those
fine.
trees are gone.
Yeah. Well, anyways, but I do want to acknowledge, like, I texted you and said, will you come down and read this shit? And that's like, you had soup on the stove and you were in your pajamas and you came down here lickety-split.
I'm still wearing my pajama top.
Thank you so much. And we're going to, let's hear it for Beth Bootzen. And,
Beth Bootzen. Don't forget to stop by the Haunted Maze. Just take every goddamn thing you can get your hands on.
And if
I don't want to see a thing
back,
standing there.
And if you bring back that
Tarp.
Yeah, the banner. Dan Harmon said he would sign it.
Sure.
And give you $100. So.
All right.
And if you don't bring it back, Jeff will give you $100.
Yes. But I'm going to sign Beth Bootzen.
All right. Beth
Bootzen!
And the unsung hero of the Beth Bootzen Chronicles, her husband Dan, who I think drove her down here last minute, probably back there too. We've never even really met him.
Thank you, Dan.
He was out here once.
But he never spoke. He just sat there in blissful silence.
The long-suffering Bootzen husband. They call him on the block, behind Beth's back. That's what we all call him. Oh, the long-suffering Bootzen husband.
Again, let's say goodbye to Drew Ackerman. Thanks for coming up, Drew.
Good to see you. All right.